Hello friends. It has cooled down a bit outside, and you're complaining that you won't go anywhere? Be thankful you don't live up north, precisely in the Sakha Republic and the Russian Federation in the town of Oymyakon. Or worse yet, that you're not spending winter at the Vostok Antarctic Station. The low temperatures in Oymyakon are largely influenced by the terrain. It is located in a basin where air flows in from the surrounding mountains. In January, the temperature can linger around -50 degrees for weeks. No wonder this location is referred to as the coldest place on Earth. The lowest temperature in the history of Oymyakon reached -71 degrees Celsius. In the 20s of the last century, it was a stop for reindeer herders. However, the Soviet government, in an effort to settle nomads, made this settlement permanent. It is ironic that the word Oymyakon means unfrozen water, in honor of a nearby mountain spring. Nevertheless, people still live and work here. Children go to school. In the Yakut village of Oymyakon, there are fewer than 1,000 inhabitants. People mostly engage in cattle breeding, reindeer herding, and fishing. In summer, residents go haymaking. Despite everything, there is internet and mobile communication. There is also a small airport that was established during the Second World War. The village has a school, hospital, kindergarten, library, bakery, gas station, gym, and a store. By the way, the local school only closes when temperatures drop below -52 degrees. The shortest day in December lasts 3 hours. But in summer, there are white nights. Summer is characterized by significant temperature differences. During the day, it can be +30, and at night, below freezing. A significant number of homes, just like a century ago, still burn coal and wood for heating. There is little modern equipment. Children are dressed like cabbage heads, with only their eyes exposed. Movement is possible only on sleds, as it is unlikely a child could walk alone in such attire. Adults wear fur coats, down jackets, fur hats, and high fur boots made from reindeer leather. They wear 2 or 3 pairs of stockings, pants, and socks. To prevent frostbite on the face and nose, they use forehead caps and scarves, but cases of frostbite still occur. However, nothing changes a woman's nature. It happened that even at -50 degrees, women wore nylon stockings under their clothes and managed not to freeze. These are the common problems that the inhabitants of Oymyakon face every day. Ink freezes in pens. Batteries lose power, and many locals leave their cars running all day because they fear they might not start again. Additional heaters are installed in cars. Arctic diesel is used. Motor diesel is mixed with kerosene. Many drivers make a special pipe for heating fuel. And there is another problem: burials. During such cold, digging a grave in frozen ground can take up to 3 days. Recently, the village has been trying to develop tourist traditions. Since 2011, Oymyakon has hosted the Relay Raid and the Cold Pole Festival. This area is also known for Lake Labinkar and Mount Myschaya. Many tourist companies offer visits to the settlement. If any of the girls want to take a risk, do a makeup for Instagram for free, and are not afraid of freezing, they can boldly go to Oymyakon. But don't forget that there is an even more extreme human settlement in the world. It is the Russian Vostok Station in Antarctica. It is located directly on the inner continent at the southern geomagnetic pole, amidst perpetual snow and ice. Under the ice dome where the station stands is an ancient freshwater lake. When describing the climate at the station, it is enough to say that there is no colder place on Earth. It seems that Russians obviously like the cold. Right here, in 1983, the absolute lowest temperature on Earth was recorded. -89.2 degrees Celsius. Throughout the year, thermometer readings range from -1.30 to -8.60. The absolute maximum observed here was in 1957 when the thermometer showed an incredible -13 degrees Celsius. The polar night lasts from April to the end of August, a full 120 days. Wind speed in winter can reach 50 or more meters per second. The low temperature is not the main hardship for human life in Vostok. You have zero humidity, as well as a lack of oxygen and carbon dioxide. The station is located over 3 kilometers above sea level. Perhaps only the most avid travelers, people of extremes, can envy the life of scientists at the Vostok station. And adapting to the exceptional natural conditions takes at least 3 months. During this time, polar explorers experience dizziness, shortness of breath, loss of consciousness, and other signs of a not very thriving organism. At the Vostok station, a person doesn't live, they slowly die. People usually lose 5 to 10 kilograms of weight in the first month at Vostok. There is as much oxygen in the air as at an altitude of 5 kilometers in the mid-latitudes. Therefore, the body's reaction is the first problem upon arrival. It happens that a person gets into a bad state within a few minutes of arrival. If they are not taken away in time, pulmonary edema could lead to death from hypoxia within a few days. Some people feel well, but with added walking and taking on a load, they must be very careful. Breathlessness and darkening of the eyes occur immediately. Anyone who suddenly stands up from a chair must simply fall with dizziness. In addition, due to apnea, fatigue accumulates, and during sleep, breathing may stop. To adapt to the conditions of continental Antarctica and start sleeping normally, it takes 1 to 3 months. In everyday life, we almost always encounter some kind of humus. Mosquitoes, beetles, moths, flies. Nothing like that exists in Vostok. For a person, it is so unusual that hallucinations sometimes occur. Polar explorers may think that flies or bees are flying nearby. Water at the station comes from the surrounding snow. There are no salts or minerals in it. Initially, there is no constant feeling of thirst. As you may know, scientists drilled a well to Lake Vostok for a long time. In January 2011, drilling to a depth of 3,540 meters began. Frozen fresh water from the lake. It is clean and has no bad taste. You can safely brew and make tea. Polar explorers did not find any unknown life forms in this tea, before which some scientists warn. Flights to the east only take place from mid-December to early February. At other times, it is not possible, they simply cannot land. Landing gear freezes to the ice. Sometimes a motorcycle arrives with fuel from the Mirny station. At other times, no technology reaches here. If something happens, there is no one to help. The residential building of the station is completely buried, it is under a 2-meter layer of snow. Inside, there is no daylight. You can go outside through 2 exits, main and spare. The main exit consists of doors behind which a 50-meter tunnel is dug without snow. The spare exit is short and consists of steep stairs to the surface of the snow cover above the station building. During the wintering, work assumes a daily exit to the open air. It is necessary to go out through the emergency exit and walk 400 meters from the small house. There are basic instruments and sensors there. Before each outing, outer clothing is put on first. Down jacket, warm pants, padded gloves, leather gloves, felt boots, and a face mask. All this must be securely fastened, filled, and then hang lanterns, a backpack with a thermos, tools, and a notebook. Sometimes it is necessary to conduct such expeditions several times a day, but those days pass quickly, say polar researchers. As for the rest, life in Vostok has more or less adjusted during its 60 years of existence. Living module, dining room, room for scientific work, diesel generator, and other life support systems for the station. There are a lot of buildings here. There aren't enough girls, experienced polar researchers complain. In the summer, 25 polar explorers live and work here. In winter, the number decreases to 13. It is worth noting that during the 60 years of Russian Antarctic exploration, only 7 women wintered here. And to all of this, friends, give a like, and if you learned something new, write comments. We'll see you soon.